Hello, everybody. Let me move that little dice there. Let's put a counter somewhere on this video because I'm sure we're going to count something on this one. Let's do it over here. It'll fit some kind of motifs or whatever. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Panic Uncracked. I'm your host, Chris Panic. This is the channel where you can watch one man's descent into madness as he sits in his lonely apartment talking to himself while nerding out on cardboard in video games in all kinds of ways. As you can see, I got the Final Fantasy mat here, and I'm gonna just another series of bad decisions here. We're gonna do something a little crazy. I think we're gonna do this because I was bummed out in the last one. I really probably shouldn't open this one, but I should try to make some money back so I can pay my bills, but that's not what I'm going to do here. But before we get into that, I got something else to show you. And it's not the dolls. We're not going to do the doll thing anymore. Which I don't have any Final Fantasy 6 dolls, but whatever. Action figures, by the way. Action figures. Let's find somewhere to put these for now. Just remember, they're called action figures. But I'm going to pull something and show something off that I had in my collection that I'm sure some of you nerds have seen. Wham. Bam. So a little bit of story time and nerddom here. But if you could see here, especially for the youngins who watch, and I don't think I really have any young viewers. I don't have any viewers at all. I try not to make that joke. Thanks for anybody who watches, etc. But these are soundtracks to the Final Fantasy games that I've had for a long time. I'm trying to think, going down memory lane or whatever, but I first got this Final Fantasy VII one. So if anybody is old like me, you would remember that nerddom as it is known now, video games, Final Fantasy games, it was not as big as it was in the 90s. It was big in Japan, but in America, it was still a very niche thing. And you couldn't just go to a store and find a shop that's going to have any kind of action figures or soundtracks. Even those figures that I showed you, those are relatively not super expensive or anything, but they were just super hard to find in America. This soundtrack, let's start with the Final Fantasy VII one. A little bit of story and history of me, but this was only available as an import, and imports at the time, like, they were hard to come by. There were only, like, you had some specialty stores that would carry import items. They usually cost a lot more money. It wasn't a fully globalized society. In order to get these, especially at this time period, which I think I got this, I don't even think there's a copyright to even really note here. See, it's all in Japanese. But this was 1997. So you could only get imports from usually websites to order from Japan back in the day of the early days of the internet. And you couldn't just mail a check out. You had to actually use a credit card. And credit cards also were not super easy to come by back in the 90s. But my mom, my parents got their first credit card when I was, in the tail end of high school, around when the soundtrack was released. I asked my mom if I could get it, and she totally got it for me. Ordered it. It came in. I don't remember how long it came or took, but it showed up. And it's got a special place in my heart, kind of like the games, but also because family. But let's pull it out a little bit. This is beautiful Amano art for Final Fantasy VII. We can look at the book, but let me show something that some of you kiddies don't see. Hey, look at that. Look at the reflection. You can see my house. Oh my God, this is bad. All right, so this is the jewel case. This is what we call a compact disc, everybody. A compact disc. It also has stickers in it, which I've never done anything with. I just didn't have the heart or couldn't think of anything to do with them. I don't know. I think too hard about this stuff. The CDs themselves, don't think you can tell. Almost show there, but they're in pretty good shape. 4 discs, and the best part is whole bunch of, just looking at the text on here about the rights and such. There's no track listing, which you usually would have in CDs. Not even on the back of the box. We'll get to the booklet in a little bit. But yeah, as I was mentioning before, imports were not so easy to come by. There weren't so many specialty stores, and there weren't so many avenues to get them back in these days. Although, of course, you know, come to the early 2000s and now to today's day, nerddom is a big deal. Everybody's a nerd. You know, well, not everybody. Oh my God, I got to stop. That's going to be saying something dumb counter right there. So looking at the book here, we got some of the Amano concept art for Final Fantasy VII with Aerith and Cloud. And, you know, some of the nice little animals. The soundtrack composed, arranged, and produced by Nobuo Uematsu. I may have pronounced that wrong. Let's do that. I'm an American. I'm not saying that's an excuse. I'm also a little old, so, you know, a lot of my memory's gone. Opening this up and looking through here, oh man, the memories this is bringing up. I almost want to say each of these images was used on a load screen for when it said to insert disc 2 or disc 3. This one in particular stands out. I mean, of course, Aerith with the scene of this is the High Wind. I haven't played this game in quite a while. It stands out. I can't remember why. I don't know if it was actually on the box art or what of the game. I also had this Chocobo breeding guide for the Chocobo farm to get Knights of the Round. I'm talking the actual physical print, like a booklet like this that came in a game magazine, which is back in the day, you didn't have the internet. You couldn't just, you know, find everything you needed on the website. We did have GameFAQs, but at the time there wasn't even GameFAQs.com. They were just all the, you know, ASCII print text docs that people have made, which some of them still exist to this day. Some of them that I have used to learn the secrets of the Final Fantasy games. We got the Sid art, the Cloud, the classic Cloud image, classic Tifa here, Red 13th, and try to go through here a little slow because I don't want to ruin this, and it's not in super bad shape. Yet another piece of Amano concept art from Final Fantasy VII, and here's the track listing for this one. All in Japanese. I have no idea what this says. Maybe I'll learn Japanese one day, but I know the songs just from the game. I remember when I put the CD in, I would just know where to go. I can't remember what this was called, the cannon. Tried to use it on the weapon, didn't work. Info, don't know what it says. And oh, the classic character art that we all know and are familiar with. Look at all that and even more. And I'm sure I'm going to turn the page and we'll have even more. Kate Sith putting the Gold Saucer song stuck in my head, which is not hard to have in your head, really. And, you know, here's some English credits. And then, you know, Barrett and Marlene in Aerith's church with her little flower patch, which was amazing. You know, obviously, if you played the game, it was amazing that these actually grew in such a place as Midgar. But yeah, my mom got me this, and you know, it was very special to me. I couldn't believe she actually did get it, because imports were a big deal back then. And yeah, I have it. And then we also have the Final Fantasy X soundtrack, and I can't remember when I got this. I think either this it showed up in a record store I worked at, or I special ordered it through one. I don't remember how I got this, but as you know before, like it's an import. I did not buy this when it came out, but it's also, you know, kind of hard to open. I wish I could remember when I got this. You know, you think as you get older, you would remember stuff like that, but it gets to us all. All right, let's take a quick look here. Thanks everybody for letting me go down memory lane and all that other fun stuff. Final Fantasy X, which I may have mentioned before, I will do a live stream of this one, just like when after I finish Final Fantasy VI. Final Final Fantasy X, like, what was interesting to me is just I related most with Final Fantasy VIII and Squall as a character. You know, like the representation of a character who, you know, I'm familiar with, feels like me. All the characters in Final Fantasy VII when I played it were older than me, and this was the first game where, like, I didn't really relate to Titus. He seemed like this is, you know, they really started going into, you know, very Asian Japanese like art styles. Not bad. I wouldn't say it's almost similar to like K-pop kind of thing, but this was way before K-pop. But it was still a good game, and I also hated the fact that there was no overhead airship, whatever. I don't know. I'm just going to ramble. I'll talk about this game when I play through it. Looking through the book here, we got Yuna's Grand Summon, the track listing in Japanese, no idea. The classic Titus art, which was also the box art for the game. And here we also have pictures of Nobuo, the composer, and some others. I'm just going to butcher their names, so I'm just going to, you know, show it up here. Let's do close-ups. Doop, doop. Doop, doop. Doop, doop. Just having some tea, beer. I don't know what they're drinking. I'm going to say I said something stupid there, so I'm just going to put the counter up. More text in Japanese. I have no idea what this says. Blah, blah, blah. I can't even make a joke about this being Greek to me because this is far from Greek here. I'm going to butcher this character's name. Kimaru, whatever. I do have his card somewhere, so I should be able to remember it. I think I do. Oh, well, whatever. It's no big deal. And more Japanese text to the next page. Oh, there is an English string here. So I think there's another thing to note here on this soundtrack. It's been a while since I played Final Fantasy X. It was just not the memorable one for me. Even the areas, you know, I remember, I think this was Zanarkand or the ruins of it, but I don't remember what this is. More Japanese stuff, more Japanese. Something that says Beverly Hills. Everybody's favorite, or at least, you know, the boys, Lulu and Yuna. Yuna, of course, too. Lulu, who had her little Moogle here. All right, let's move over to some more Japanese text. More text. Just fishing for English here. It's something that says Riki. I don't know what that means. And I believe, I think this was a singer who sang one of the songs, because there was a song that actually had lyrics, which I think these are the lyrics. Because it says it, lyrics and arrangement. All right, here we go in English. Let's scroll that down. I'm not going to read the lyrics because I'm going to feel super cheesy. And here we go, more the credits here. Oh, Riki was the singer who did. Okay, cool. All right, that's enough of this one. Here's some actual English credits. I'm going to do my setting something stupid counter, put it up a little bit. We're going to open this up, show off these discs. See, kids, back in the 90s, this is how music came. They were on these things called CDs, and let's shine that forward. You pop these in what was known as a CD player. They called it a CD player, not like VHS tapes where everybody calls it a VHS player. We called it a VCR back in the day. Thank you. And the back up here. Yeah. Thank you for letting me, like, you could really stop me, but letting me go through a little bit of my memory lane. All right, so let's put that up. One more. This says say something stupid counter. And let's make some bad decisions together, or on my own. So this is going to be the last video of Panic Uncracked for the year. Not much to note or say, really. I just figure, why not? I should probably try to resell this so I can, you know, pay some bills. There's obviously not that much value in here unless you get the big hits. I think at this point the the Chocobo is probably the only one that's really going to help you get that value out of it. It's not going to be in here. Although I hope for something cool, you know, maybe some more mono art or whatever. But I'm also just doing this for the heck of it because it's fun and going down memory lane because the Final Fantasy games did change my life. They had such a huge impact. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I was going to go fancy and use my machete, but let's do this the brute force method, and let's find a open hole or something to try to get this open up. Whatever, we'll just do it like this. For those who are watching, if you're watching, if you could see me right now, like I'm trying to do all of my actions by watching through my camera as it's recording this video. That's why it might look like I'm a little clumsy or silly or say a lot of stupid things. If I can get to 40, I'll pretend I'm going to do a giveaway because I'm like obviously a YouTube, you know, influencer pro, you know, with my Patreon and OnlyFans and all that other stuff. No knocking anybody does. I just don't do that because I'm me and that's what you get. All right. Well, that's a bunch of money down the drain. Let's get these cards out of here as nice and sound as we can. The set was really good for Magic the Gathering. It's really special. It feels so good. It looks so good. It really fits the Magic motif. Not saying any of the other cards are bad. Spider-Man is not super terrible. It felt really weak here. Weak for a Magic set. You know, I would have wanted a little bit more power on some of the legendaries. Maybe some Commander playable Mysterios or something. Oh well, you're not watching this to watch me rant about Spider-Man. You're watching this to watch me lose a bunch of money by opening these cards, which I should not have done. All right, let's see what I get. Pack 1. Let's take a lot of care. We can do this really slow. Yeah, let's do this really slow. Remember when I was doing my first video with these and I was like, I was all nervous. Super nervous. All right, pack 1. Right off the bat, everybody. We've got a hero token. That's great. And it's out of focus. You know what? I hate to do this to you, girl. But the camera's out of focus because your face, it's detecting it looks like a real face. Okay, cool. No complaints from me here, but our very first opening here, which I'm stoked on because my last video I got one single Surge foil and it was Vaughn. We got Clive, Ifrit's Dominant, Surge foil. The Surge foils in the set are obviously very special and very rare. These are the only this is the only box and way you can get Surge foils. So we're gonna hop this immediately into a top. I'll get a top loader. Right, we'll do it right now. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm just gonna drag ass and make everybody wait while I do a bunch of stuff. All right. This little taparoo. Sorry, Tara, I love you so much, but I gotta do something about that. I said something stupid, so I'm gonna count this up. Let me know if my counts are wrong. All right, our promise fulfilled, aka light up the stage, Final Fantasy VIII, which I've talked about this many times before. Such an interesting game. It's not super terrible. Cloud Planet's Champion, the extended art version of that card, followed by the Conformer Shuriken, Yuffie's equipment. I don't know if this was actually part of the game or not, but whatever, it's a card. Going into Final Fantasy X, we got ourselves here. Sin, Spirus Punishment. Oh man, Sin from Final Fantasy X. A lot of really cool lore from that character. This one here, when he enters or attacks, you blah blah blah, exile card from random. I really like the one that sucks all the counters up. Really fits him. And then followed by Summon Primal Odin. Foil version. We'll keep the hits down here. close to the counter, but somewhere where the light's not going to really mess with it too bad. I just want to make sure we get all the cards accounted for in camera view, although I will have to put something up here once I run out of stuff. Find the Forest, we got Rama, the first Esper you encounter in Final Fantasy VI. This is the extended art borderless foil. Fang, Fearless something, and of course a meld card. The Relentless XATM092 from Final Fantasy VIII. Look at Zell running from this thing. Look at that. Oh boy. Titus, the Blitzball Star. Already kind of feeling like a bit of a Final Fantasy X box here. Realm sketching. Yeah, again, like I'm playing through Final Fantasy VI right now for the first time in 30 years. Have not gotten to Realm yet. Don't remember how I'm going to get there, all that stuff, but I will remember once I get there. Realm sketching. Sahagan, the White Auracite, and the Adventures Inn instantly put the town music in my head from Final Fantasy VI. I'm not going to try to, act like I can totally, get the music right. I'm going to adjust some of what I got going on because my camera is a little bit broken. I may have mentioned it before in a previous video. The angling is a little off, but whatever. Not my camera, my light. Oh, let's do this. Since this is the last one before the end of the year, and that clock is ticking, by the way. I'm not going to tell you what time it is, but, time is running out for me to do stupid stuff like this. All right. Another hero token, followed by holy shit. Okay. I think this is good, right? We'll do that. I have not seen a traveling chocobo, and I know these are somewhat big deals. I have not actually opened one of these yet. I'm kind of stoked. I don't know the value of this. I know this is a chase card. This is not the serialized one, but it's something. So I feel a little less bad about opening this. Let's try. I'm so bad at this, everybody. If you couldn't tell, I'm a professional. Don't try this at home. Otherwise, you're going to look stupid like me. Okay. Wow. We got to get this one, make sure this one's centered. Nobody cares about the commons and commons, so we could probably pop that here. We also have the Clive here, which I want to showcase. We got a promise fulfilled again. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. The beautiful Yuna, Hope of Spira. Oh my god. Not foil, but still a cool card to get. Final Fantasy X themed, I guess. Although this traveling chocobo is tagged Final Fantasy VII. Speaking of Final Fantasy VII, we got Sid, the free flyer pilot. Oh boy, I can't wait to play through Final Fantasy VII again. I know it's going to be really hard to, because the pixel games they hold up because of the simplicity of the pixel art, but the early blocky PS1 polygon games, they're kind of tough, but I can deal with it because I played them. Some of you kids, if any kids watch this, you just can't do it. Bannon, the Returners leader. Now the Returners theme is in my head. This is why Final Fantasy is like special to me. I can't speak for everybody else, but just the moments and the songs and what's going on just all sticks in the head. It sticks in the mind. He does not go there. He goes with Sin. So we'll just do that. And Limblum, the Industrial Regency from Final Fantasy IX, the good old technological town run by Noblog, whose name just happened to be Sid. Forest. Then we got ourselves a foil Zidane from Final Fantasy IX. Ultimecia, the Time Sorceress from Final Fantasy VIII, the ultimate or the endgame villain of that game, which this card's really kind of cool. Although it's just a bummer. I wish this was strong enough to turn into a commander deck, but 8 mana to and then exiling 8 cards, it's a steep price, Kina, eating our frogs, the Dragoon's Lance, Cargo Ship, Crossroads Village, Resentful Revelation. I still got the Returners theme stuck in my head, so nothing from Final Fantasy VII got in my head yet, or for that one. Whew. Okay. I probably handled that a little bit better than I did when, or at least a better reaction for viewers than I did when I opened the serialized Markov. My God. I was just dumbfounded when I opened that one. All right, Hero Token, followed by... Oh, yep. This song's in my head. This is not the Surge foil version of the card, but regular foil, but it is gorgeous. Oh man, that game. If you know, you know, and you totally know. And I hope that card's not in this pack here. That would suck. All right. We'll set that here because she's special. Can you see her? Okay, cool. My hand's going to cover it. Yuffie, the alt art version, aka Yuriko, the Tiger Shadow. We can pop that with those there. Xenos Ye Galvis. Don't know this game. I did not play Final Fantasy 14. I stopped at 10. I played through a little 12. I may have mentioned this card. I kind of am tempted to make a commander deck out of this one because it's so interesting. When he enters, choosing a creature. When that creature dies, he transforms. Ooh, Darkness Crystal. And then when the chosen player loses a game, you win the game. It's pretty neat, I have to say. All right, cool. Not a bad hit. The Darkness Crystal. Pop that in that pile. Meister Seymour from Final Fantasy X. And Balam, the Balam Garden Seed Academy. The song for this area almost got into my head. But then the town theme got into my head from Final Fantasy VI. Which game's going to have the song that's going to stick in my head the hardest? Who knows? We'll see. Land, Stolen Uniform, nice, beautiful alternate art. I did get to the scene when I was doing my playthrough, stealing the gear from the soldiers and the merchants. Oh, the beautiful Renoa from Final Fantasy VIII. Really wish this could fit into a Squall deck, but for Commander, but it just does not. Oh well, it's not the end of the world. Fang, foil, Giot, the Evil Reawakened, the Elder, the Dreams of Laguna from Final Fantasy VIII, bringing some memories back. Black Mage's Rod. We did not get Sephiroth's intervention. That is beautiful. Aerith lives for another pack. Let's keep going. Man, I feel like such a nerd doing all this and saying all this. Is there anything else dumb I can say? Like, whoa. Professional Magic opener, everybody. Hero Token. Ooh, boy. All right, cool. We can pause the presses a little bit. I'm not going to go too crazy with this one, but we got Surge, Foil, Cecil, Dark Knight from Final Fantasy IV. Final Fantasy IV, if I remember, at least for American audiences, I can't speak to the other ones, but this is the one that really had a really deep story. It was the first time an RPG of this nature had a story that was super significant. And in the Cecil story, he started as a Dark Knight, eventually realized all the stuff he was doing was terrible and wrong, and then, he became the Redeemed Paladin. All right, I'll get a top loader for that one and all that stuff for it soon. Shadowbringers, aka Doran's Veto, for our, game art. Venet, Heart of Hidalin. I can't pronounce it, didn't play that game. It always makes me think of Hilda from Thrones of Eldraine. I think that's correct. Heidegger, Final Fantasy VII, the Shinra executive. Hope Esteem, don't really remember that character too well. And Noctis, the Prince of Lucas. Behind there, we got the Open Road Plane, Choco Mog, Summon Fenrir. Fenrir is not foil, interesting. Ring of Lucy, Sorceress Schemes, Phoenix Down, Fight On, Sabot Tender, and a Scorpion Sentinel. Don't attack while it's tails up. Never forget. All right, let's get Cecil into at least a penny sleep for now. Let's do this very carefully. It's another reason I like doing this on camera, even though the camera view doesn't have everything, but you can at least see the care I'm putting into these cards. Wheel top loader Cecil, why not? I don't think it's worth a whole ton. It's not a mythic or whatever. But he is, I mean, come on, as a commander, 1 black, mono black deck. Actually, I think he, is it black-white? Don't know, I'll have to look it up, but very interesting commander. Cecil can go there. It's like, what a big deal. I just need to get the glare off. All right, that pack's empty. Let's get to the next one. I'm doing this really slow. This is going to probably be the longest video. It'll be January by the time I'm done with this shit. It's not like I'm making any money on these videos, so I guess I can swear every once in a while. You just got to be careful not to be terrible, you know, and I try not to be. I try to be the best person I can. Hero token. Woo! Okay, not a Surge foil, but Borderless Cloud Midgar Mercenary. And it's mythic. I think this is a significant hit. We can set him with Clive. Then we got ourselves another Dorn's Veto. Jecht, the Reluctant Guardian from Final Fantasy X. Titus's dad. Bugenheim, the Wise Elder from Final Fantasy VII. He was, you know, part of it's where you met Red the 13th. Balthier and Fran. Zodiark, the Umbral God, followed by a mountain from Final Fantasy VI. God, I just played through this, but you know, the mountain range, I think this is the mountains where you found Sabin right after leaving South Figaro and meeting Edgar. Him, Duncan, and Vargas went up into the mountains. Obviously, spoilers, Vargas was unhappy that his dad picked Sabin as his successor, so he killed his dad. Well, I can't remember the name of the mountain. I'm going to stop. All right, summon Fenrir. We got a foil one this time. Judge Magistar Gabranth. Exdeath, the Void Warlock. Cloud of Darkness. Ultros, the guy who ejected Sabin out of the water, I think. Also, the obnoxious octopus that is constantly being a pain in your ass when you're playing Final Fantasy VI. Syncopate with Seymour art. Windurst, the Federation Center from Final Fantasy XI. The online one, I did not play it. Venture's Airship. I'm trying to remember the name of that mountain range, and I just can't remember. And I just played through that. Like, I mean, I didn't beat the game yet, but I can't remember. Cobalt or something. I don't know. Hero token, followed by nice, beautiful foil Darkness Crystal with, we'll put that there because we got ourselves in a mono card. Counterspell, the Wild Rose Rebellion. Special place for these cards. Dion, Bahamut's Dominant. Yeah, I said it right. I'll fix that later. Protection Magic. The Falcon, Airship Restored from Final Fantasy VI. Foil, Ultima Origin of Oblivion. And then the island, we got... All right, here we go. We got ourselves yet another Surge foil. We'll put that aside. I forgot to get the thing for Cloud. Summon Shiva. Saz's Kokobo. The Turks. Almost, it's kind of getting there. The Turks theme in my head. Reno and Rude. Summon Shiva. Call the Mountain Kokobo. Vane's Treachery. And summon Guardian Force Ifrit. Guardian Forces from Final Fantasy VIII. Interesting character lot. Let's get Cloud into little penny sleep here. Very carefully. Do. Little tap, tap, tap. And top loader for this bad boy. I'm running out of room to tap here. Also, I said, yeah, we'll just say I said a couple dumb things here. I'll search foil. It's an uncommon, but I have sold a couple of these. I mean, it's Zidane. If you play the game, you know. I don't think I need to top loader this guy, but we'll definitely sleeve him up. Darkness Crystal's a little out of place, but whatever. I'll move it later. After I'm done with this video, because it's taking me forever. As I keep telling you, it's gonna be the new year by the time I'm done here. I'm gonna feel dumb. All right. Woo. Okay. Hero token. Surprise, surprise, hero tokens. Summon Brynhildr, Final Fantasy 13. We got, we can set that there. That's where the Darkness Crystal's supposed to go. That can go there. Yuffie, foil version of it. Summon Magus Sisters from Final Fantasy X. Ultimate Magic Meteor, good old Wrath. Hey, speaking of sin, the counter sin, we got the Simic Sin Unending Cataclysm. Love this card. When he enters, remove all counters from any number of artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. Then he enters with X 1/1 counters on him, where X is double the number of counters removed this way. And then when Sin dies, put his counters on another creature you control and shuffle him into your library. Crazy, crazy card. All right. Ninja Blades. And then a Swamp. And then behind the Swamp, we got Torgal, a Fine Hound. The Obnoxious Octopus. Ultros. Foil Ultimecia. Ignis, something. Sleep Magic. The cute little, oh my god. I just played this game like a couple months ago. Don't get old, kids, I swear. Ico. There we go. Precious Wanderings. Iron Man Combat Tutorial. Blah, blah, blah. The jokes, the memes. All right. Yes, I'm regretting this. Also not regretting it. I'm already more than halfway through here, which is not bad. This video is going to be long. Hope I didn't cut a card. Nope. No cards were harmed in the cutting of this wrapper. You know, with that traveling chocobo popping up, I'm really glad I did the scissors. Did not want to take a risk there. Look at that. Surprise. We got a hero token, everybody. Look at that. Woo! All right, I'm losing my mind. Oh! Beautiful. Okay, so to match the Aerith, we got ourselves also a Tifa lock. Oh my god. Wait. Yeah. Dude. We got Cloud, we got Aerith, and we got Tifa. We got the love triangle from Final Fantasy VII right here. I will definitely sort that out a little bit. Imperial City of Arcades, aka the Wall Omens. Move Cecil down a little bit. Running out of space. Summon Yojimbo, foil. Great, great card to play. The Fire Crystal. Blue Mage's Cane. Jador, the Aristocrat Capital. All right, I'm going to resort after I go through this. Forest Anima from Final Fantasy X. I mean, I have watched videos recently to remember about Final Fantasy X, but the scene one, Seymour first summoned Anima. Woo! It's not foil, but hey, look at that. We got ourselves a secret rendezvous with Yuffie. Special card there. Side quest, Ride a Chocobo. Reach the Horizon. Battle menu. The Lunatic Pandora. The Cloud-bound Moogle. And Red Mage's Rapier. Okay, I don't know how rare that secret rendezvous is, but you know, these sleeves are a penny, so I'll just keep using these. Man, okay, so this is turning into a Final Fantasy VII hit right now. Like, for sure. Without a doubt. This is amazing. Well, okay, so we gotta... Man, can you see the tokens? I usually keep the tokens visible, but I think we're gonna have to make an exception here today. We'll pop them up here. All right, so we got this... We keep our hits down here in the bottom. the Traveling Chocobo, if you know, you know. Like that's a huge hit. Clive Ifrit's Dominant. That's a mythic search foil. That's not bad. But the beauty here, woo! The beauty of this one's going to be having the Cloud, the Tifa, and the Aerith foil. You know what? She's getting sleeved now. This is me getting all nerd. If I can get a Barrett, I'm going to pull the toys out. The dolls will come out, everybody. The dolls will come back. You know, just because I'm being uber nerd. We're going to top loader all these too. It's part of my technique is underneath this Terra playmat or 5 other playmats. I did not know I had 5, but I have 5 playmats there. But usually what I do is I'd like to have everything a little elevated, so it makes it easy to slide the cards this way so you can pop a sleeve under it so you don't have to really worry about ruining anything. Kind of like that. No sleight of hand here. I'm not that clever and not that good. Final Fantasy VII borderless cards, which are being impacted by the light of the camera. Or not the camera, the ring light. I think I'm right on this one right now, right? 14? We can say that. Let's do that. It looks kind of cool. And then the Amano card in the Rendezvous. Surge foil. Zidane and Ifrit. Well, yeah, we'll do it like that. I have too much to showcase here. This is getting a little crazy. Yeah, we'll just do that. You can't even see that card. What am I doing? All right. Special pile for those. I'm not going to cover up that. Let's just keep moving. This is taking too long. I'm going to need to go. Well, I'm not going to go anywhere, but it's almost New Year's, and you know, it's special to a lot of people. All right, here we go. Right off the top, we got a hero token, followed by the triple triad card game, the borderless foil version of this one. Whatever. Laboratory Maniac. Lightning Army of One. Not a terrible hit to have here. Eye of Nidhogg. Final Fantasy 14. Stiltskin, the Moogle Merchant. Yep, buy your stuff from him as he's making his travels. And Guardian Force Cerberus. And then we got the Seventh Heaven Plains, followed by Vanille, Cheerful AC, and Ragnarok. I think, wait. Oh, yeah, we're going to go back for these. Titus Blitzball Star, Foil Renoa. I think we'll look through those in a bit. Wow. Okay, so I think I got a double meld here, double meld foil. So that'll be part of the showcase. And you know what I haven't seen yet? I don't even want to say the name. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. Hero token? Oh boy. The Street Thief. Meh. Another Lab Maniac. Woo! Okay, cool. This is a Final Fantasy VII super pack, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Okay. I mean, I'm definitely losing money on this, but behind there is the Wrecking Ball arm. Still, like, I'm pretty stoked about the hits on this one. I cannot complain. I'm glad I didn't sell that one. Well, maybe probably been better. I guess we'll find out. I'll adjust later. Let's keep going through here. Wrecking Ball arm should go. I've lost track here. Oh my god. Yep. Okay. So here. And songs in my head now. You know the song. The Flower Girl. District 7? No, it wasn't. I can't remember. I'll have to play through it. Oh man. Primal Garuda. Snow Villiers, Rydia's Return, Final Fantasy VII packs here. You know, he was a tangent on there. Travel the Overworld, Treno, the Dark City. The song almost got stuck in my head there. Vincent's Limit Break, Final Fantasy VII again, and the Airship Crash. Whew. Man. See, this is why I think these boxes are expensive. Not because of the value. I think it's just what it brings out in people. I'm only speaking for myself. I can't project myself on anybody else, but I don't know. It's just my thoughts. Okay, I'm going to make a significant note here, but we got ourselves a bird token. This is the first time right off the top it was not a hero token. That's kind of cool. Arden, the Usurper, Akroma's Will, aka Blessing of the Oracle. Oh, the beautiful Celis, Rune Knight. In my playthrough of Final Fantasy VI, I just freed her from her prison. I crushed on her. Like, I think when I was a kid, I was more into her than Terra, but nowadays I'm like, it's all about Terra, and I'm starting to sound like just another one of them guys on the internet, you know. But that's what happens when you're a dude who just sits in his house by himself and opens magic cards and talks to himself on a camera. Don't know who this character is. This is the first time I remember seeing this card, but whatever. We pop that there. Shadow, the Mysterious Assassin. The song is in my head. Yeah. Oh, man. The Earth Crystal foil. Good hit on that one, too. Island, followed by the Fat Chocobo. Mega Heartless Evolution. Rydia. Dark Knight's Great Sword. Barrett Wallace. Did not get... If I get the Roman numeral one, then yeah, we'll pull out the toys. Marlboro. Gungaga, the Reactor Town. All right, cool. All right, everybody. Last pack. I can't complain. I mean, I got one of the traveling chocobos. I mean, I'm going to look it up when this video's done. Well, yeah, I probably will do that first. Let's make sure nothing's there. And cut very carefully. And let's see what we got. All right. Back to just seeing the hero tokens. Then Zodiark, the Umbral God, Farseek, Helitrooper, Raban, Wandering Minstrel, Sarah, Mountain, Shiva, Ifrit, Unexpected Request, Circle of Power, Tia, Slash of Light, The Hill Gigas, and Town Greeter. Okay, so somewhat like whatever for the end of that pack, but man, I felt like I should have made some notes and talked about what I got out of the other from the commons uncommons there. Let's do this somewhat carefully. I don't know how many of these I'm actually going to end up selling. There's not a ton of value in a lot of the cards here. There's enough, but we got the Yuna. The keys here. We got Final Fantasy VII, the triangle here. We got the Traveling Chocobo. We got Final Fantasy VII special hit, the Secret Rendezvous with Yuffie. We also got some Surge foils in Clive and Zidane and Cecil. And then let's go through here because I'm pretty sure we got a meld hit here. Which, if you watched any of my previous videos, you know I got really stoked when we finally hit a meld on Innistrad Remastered. I think this was one of them. That was definitely the pack that got me thinking, oh, wow. Uncommon. Let's go through all these. I've already talked about all these cards, so I'm not going to ramble and rave about anything here. Let's see if I get copyright claimed on that whistle I just did. That'd be hilarious. I think it was pretty early on. And I think at this point... Oh, so it wasn't super like special being a borderless version of her, but we got two of them actually. Okay, so it's not perfect, but we got a meld hit. That's not super terrible. And not only that, but it's a foil one. Let's see if the backs match, even though they're different versions. Look at that. They do not match. All right. Whiff. Whiff. The art is completely different. Oh, well. No complaints from me. We'll put those away. And we'll just showcase what I got here. And, I mean, we got an Amano card. We got a single Amano card. And we got some good stuff. I'm just going to ruin everything if I just keep trying it. But, oh, boy. I don't know what I got here. I know it's something, but I just don't know what I got. And, yeah. This was a Final Fantasy VII pack. I'll take it. I probably said something else dumb. So let's go one more. Oh, well. This was probably one of the longest videos I've done for a collector box opening. At least that in my recent memory. I'm not going to complain too much. All right. Well, thank you for listening to me ramble. If you did listen to me ramble. Until next time and until next year. Bye, everybody. Happy New Year. Play Final Fantasy.